What up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Earth Zero. I'm your host, Black Nick. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. So, we're not going to discuss mainly about if the Flash movie is a flop or not. We all know it is a flop. But I'm talking about people calling the movie bad. Like, is the movie bad because it flopped dismally in the box office? And like my main actual topic is like people have been using this thing as a way of defining if a movie is bad or not. They just say, "Oh, it flopped in the box office. It means it's a bad movie," and that is the most stupidest thing that I've ever heard from someone using in an argument. Oh, yeah, Suicide Squad 2 didn't make a good box office number, so it's worse than the first one. I was like, the first one's the first one. Everyone wanted to go see the movie. Second of all, the second one came out during a pandemic, and it was like available for everyone to watch like on HBO Max. Like, how does that even make sense? But anyway, and then also, like in terms of like the Flash, the movie, like now how badly it's done and how it's getting removed and everything, and we know the whole commotion behind it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the movie is bad. And people are busy saying like, oh yeah, the CGI in the Flash is bad and it's horrible, and they're going at it with the CGI. But where were these people when Black Panther was around? I love Black Panther the movie just the same way I like Flash, but Black Panther also had flippin' PlayStation 2 graphics, dude. That thing had some other bad CGI, especially the end of the movie. That was a CGI nightmare. I never heard one single person use that as the main point of hating on the movie. But anyway, that's not the argument today. The main point is that you can't use box office numbers to call a movie a flop. I mean, a bad movie or a good movie. You can call it a flop as in like its success. Yeah, you can call that a flop, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad or good movie. And the reason being is that I've done my research and I've been seeing what movies back in the day have been like that flopped, but we consider as good movies. And I saw, Fight Club. I saw Shawshank Redemption, and I saw Warrior up there. I saw Hugo. I saw Iron Giant. I saw Scott Pilgrim versus the World. All these movies I know personally I love to death, and I know many people that love those movies. And same as Suicide Squad 2. That movie flopped in the thing. But if you go look at the reviews and what people say about that movie, they love the hell out of that movie. So the movie isn't a bad movie. It's just that by some chance people just weren't interested to see it then and end up seeing it elsewhere after it came off the cinema and then realize it's actually a good movie. But anyway, you can't tell me Fight Club is a trash movie. That's like one of Brad Pitt's top movies. And you're gonna tell me that it's a bad movie. But during its time, they called that a box office flop. So you're gonna tell me that's a bad movie. And that's why I'm saying that DC fans and Marvel fans use this kind of excuse or way of trying to win an argument. But the thing is that when you use it against them, then they start going, oh, no, that's not how it works. Because Avatar 2, the movie, flippin' destroyed so many Marvel movies in the box office. I think it even beat Spider-Man No Way Home. And as a Marvel fan, or people that are Marvel fans, would argue that Avatar 2 isn't better than Spider-Man the movie. But if we're using your logic about the whole box office flop, then that means Avatar 2 is a better movie than Spider-Man No Way Home, because the box office, it beat it in the box office. And if I say that to people, they're all gonna be like, "No, that's crazy," and that's why I'm explaining to you how crazy your actual explanation is to the movie. I feel like a good and bad movie is always up for interpretation. These numbers and these critics and what is just how other people feel. But to you, anything could be, good or whatever, or a bad movie or a good movie. It's just up for interpretation at the end of the day. But people are so stuck up on what the majority think and land up following that crowd. And because the majority of people didn't like Ezra, and we had the Zack Snyder fans also a part of the whole thing, and also James Gunn saying that the universe is ending, we just had a whole group of people that just thought this movie was just, hopeless and useless and whatever. But after watching the movie, I was just saying that if Ezra wasn't as bad as of a person as he was, and if the universe wasn't ending and they put this movie, I bet you it would have gotten a way better reception. The people would have been like, "Oh, this movie's good. This movie's that." And if they knew that Zack Snyder was still carrying on with the universe, everyone would have given this movie a whole different kind of perspective. But word of mouth made all of us not go watch this movie. And now that I'm watching it at home, I'm just like, people are actually tripping. This movie is actually like decent. It's not the best superhero movie, but it's still a 7 like out of 10 for me. Like there's good parts to it. I still felt happy. I would watch it again. And yeah, I don't see this whole box office flop ever determining on my side that if a movie's good or not. Otherwise, you basically calling Fight Club a bad movie, Shawshank Redemption a bad movie, Iron Giant, Scott Pilgrim, Warrior with Tom Hardy in it. You're calling all those movies trash. Suicide Squad also a flop. All these small movies, you're basically calling them all bad movies when they not. Is the money doesn't really determine it. The money is always about just what's happening in that era and time, especially like, let me say, like Suicide Squad and Suicide Squad 2. Suicide Squad 1, first movie ever to come out of Suicide Squad live action, so people are definitely hyped to go and see that. And with all the advertising it did, and when cinemas were still a huge thing, everyone was definitely gonna go see it. It's the Suicide Squad. Then only after everyone had watched it, then they realized, okay, no, the movie actually wasn't that good. Suicide Squad 2, during pandemic, it's coming out for free for people to watch on HBO Max. Wow, what's the need to go in and try and get yourself sick from the COVID-19, when you can just stay at home and wait for it to come out on HBO Max and watch it. So everyone just did that. The same thing as what's it, Black Widow? I don't even know if Black Widow even released in cinema. Maybe it didn't, but anyway, it's just like it just happened that way. And with the Flash, it's just the whole drama behind the whole DC kind of universe, but it's actually not a bad movie at all if you just completely blank your mind out of all of these things and kind of thought that, what if this world had to continue? The movie itself is not bad at all. People are just just trying to jump onto the hate train like everybody else, because the majority is, and it's been like this for DC ever since. Like everyone's just been on Marvel's side all these years, and they've just been hating on DC and hating, and it doesn't affect me at all, because the character I love in DC is Batman, and I think he's done justice. He carries DC hardcore, and he can his movies can solo, or are just as good as a lot of Marvel movies out there. Even with the Avengers all combined together, you would still think that The Dark Knight is a way better movie than Avengers 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, Batman just solos. So I'm happy that they've done well with the Batman and those kind of movies all these years. But it's still terrible that like that everything has come to this point in DC, that like the whole world is just a mess. And I think right now James Gunn should just do his thing, ignore everyone, don't worry about box office numbers, and just grow this universe slowly and bring what he has to, because if he listens to the fans and all of that, it's just gonna go downhill for him as well. And Warner Bros needs to also stick their bloody nose out of directors' businesses, movies, and just let them cook up what they need to cook up, because they, the biggest problem though. It's actually WB that was the biggest problem out of this whole world going like this. But then the fans also started slacking off for me as well, because they were just demanding everything. I want this movie to be dark. Then the movie's dark. No, this movie's too dark. No, then it's in between, half light, half dark, like Suicide Squad 2. No, this movie's trash. They don't know what they want in between. You guys don't know what you want. And Warner Bros. Has been flopping by doing all these different things, but that's because they're also trying to see what kind of crowd they have and what vibe they want from DC, from the guys. But we haven't even given them a solid answer, because half like this and half like that, so they still don't even know their audience at all. So it's one big huge catastrophe. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.